Strap in because this is going to be a bumpy ride. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. I'm sure you've heard that quote. Sometimes it feels pretty accurate to this day. Things are definitely better than like 300 years ago. We're not burning people at the stakes anymore. At least I don't think we are. Maybe in some countries. Hope not. Starting to feel like things are taking a turn for the worse. Things feel kind of grim at the moment with, the war and the rise of political tension, unaffordable housing, the increasing cost of gas and groceries and basically everything. But then there's mermaiding, and it's this magical escape from reality. For many of us, it helps heal our childhood wounds and just brings about a sense of whimsy that we can all use in this very serious life. But is that about to change? We're going to talk about that. This video is all about the future of mermaiding. I'm going to be sharing with you some predictions I have about the world of mermaiding and where it's headed. Unfortunately, most of these predictions are not super positive, but don't worry, I'll get to some more positive stuff at the end. It's gonna be okay, just hang in there with me. So it's 2026 and we're already seeing this AI frenzy that will probably take mermaiding with it. I've seen a lot of AI slop on the internet, and I've even seen some mermaid AI slop. Sometimes I see these really weird videos of like half mermaids, half realistic I don't even know how to explain it. I'm just going to show you an example. It's not cute. It's not magical or pretty. It's just weird and uncomfortable. And then there's, mermaids who make art. Well, right now people are getting accused of using AI to make their art, which is really unfortunate because some people pour their heart and soul into the paintings and drawings and digital art, and then someone will just say that's AI and it's affecting people who do art for their business. It's also, all this AI is making people less interested in social media because you just can't escape it. You go online and it's just AI everywhere. It's taking over, and many people have had enough and they're leaving Instagram and Facebook in droves, which is unfortunate for a lot of content creators who rely on social media for, their business and stuff. I also think that in the future, AI will be more used in mermaid tail making. I wouldn't be surprised if some mermaid companies started using AI designs. I mean, we already saw FinFun allow an AI design to be the winner of their, mermaid tail design contest, which was a big controversy. Mermaid Courtney did a pretty good video on that. Coffee time. Scary ghosty mug because I'm talking about the scary world. It's not hot anymore. Dang it. But yeah, mermaid AI designs, I just see it coming. It's gonna happen. I just know it. Especially from these shady companies. A lot of them make knockoffs and they sell low quality mermaid tails, like you see on Amazon or Shein or Temu or whatever. Some mermaids in the community are embracing AI and using it in their content, and some of them are using generative AI. Even though it's very bad for the environment, and we are, as mermaids, we are supposed to be ambassadors of the ocean and of just the environment in general. So we should be not super on board with all the AI stuff because they do use a lot of water and electricity, and we have seen an increase in the cost of computer parts and other technology because of AI. On the topic of AI being bad for the environment, I want to talk about how we're starting to see more of the effects of climate change. More waterways are getting polluted, the ocean is full of trash and microplastics, and I worry that one day it might be harder for mermaids to go swimming in natural bodies of water, or at least in safe ones, because they're getting so polluted, and I hope that means that we'll also see a rise in, mermaids who want to do cleanups and stuff. One good thing about bad things is that it typically inspires us to fix things. Sometimes you have to get really bad before it gets better. You kind of reach a breaking point and then you're realizing something needs to change. We need to do something about it. So that's my one hope, is all this bad stuff will lead to us being like, hey, we need to do better. There can be redemption. Okay, my parents came home, so I had to move where I was filming this video. What was I saying? The environment. It's possible that one day it might be so hot that we don't want to go outside and go swimming. There's already been days where it's been so hot that I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay inside. Even if I go swim in some nice cool waters, I still just don't want to be out in the hot. And there's some places, that have like, sometimes there's heat advisories and they say like stay inside in the air conditioning. So yeah, that could be a thing, and I really hope it doesn't get too bad. Mermaiding also may become less accessible. I expect to see mermaid tail prices rising because when the gas prices rise, everything rises, from food to clothing, anything that needs to be transported. Mail will get more expensive because the mailman's trucks require gas, and if gas gets more expensive, the mail prices might get expensive. Plus, with the tariffs, already companies are saying that they won't ship to the United States anymore, and I expect materials to become more expensive. So I wouldn't be surprised to see mermaid prices increase, which also makes me think there will be even more like knockoff mermaid tails, and soon there will be more factory-made mermaid tails. We're already seeing mermaid tails be made in factories, for fast and much cheaper, but not better quality. I don't know. I feel like they lose some of their magic when they're like mass produced. But I think we'll definitely see a rise in manufactured tails, robots making tails. They say robots are going to take all the jobs. Well, that is likely. Also, with everything becoming more expensive, some people might get to the point where they can only spend on the necessities, and people might not have the extra money to hire a professional mermaid for a kid's party. So that could affect the professional mermaids. And then we'll see newer professional mermaids kind of take over because they typically start with low prices, and people are going to opt for the one with the low price as opposed to the more seasoned mermaid who has their own LLC and certifications. So yeah, maybe we won't have as many mermaid gigs, but we can still swim as mermaids, right? Yes, except it might be harder because, with the increasing popularity of mermaiding, there's also been more mermaid drownings because some people aren't responsible and don't realize that they need to watch their kid, or that their kid might be too young to swim in a mermaid tail. Unfortunately, sometimes kids die while mermaiding, and I think that might be the reason that a lot of pools and swim clubs have banned mermaid tails, and it's possible that more of them could do that. Let's take a breather. Water time. I know this has been a very grim video, and I'm sorry. I know it sounds depressing and scary. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe the rise of AI and the increasing pollution and just everything will just be a catalyst for change. Maybe people will, reach their breaking point and be like, I'm sick of this. We need to do something. We need to make things better. Maybe it could just be, voting someone new in. I do hope to see more mermaids speaking out about all this kind of stuff and trying to, be an agent of change, leave the world a better place than you found it. I know this is all very dark, but the world has bounced back from harder times. If we came back from World War II, I think we can get back to a place that it feels more stable and comfortable for everyone. My last prediction is that some of us might even lean more into mermaiding. Like I said, mermaiding offers escape from reality. We get to just spend some time connecting with our inner child and feeling magical and having fun. And we might need that, with things getting harder. It helps many of us cope with life, the struggles of life, and the seriousness of the world. Well, those are all my predictions for the future of mermaiding. Sorry if this brought you down. I hope I ended it on a positive note. And, if you have any encouragement about the situation that might make me feel better, please leave it in the comments, because things do feel kind of sad right now, and I do worry about the future of mermaiding. So tell me if you think I'm completely off base. I'd love to hear it. Anyway, I hope you guys all have a magical day. Bye-bye.